The Joker is officially pregnant. The thing we did not want to see from DC for the new year. They are really striking 0 for 0 on this one. When I saw this comic picture and all that trending on Twitter, I was absolutely horrified as a DC fan. Imagine the Dark Knight villain, one of the greatest cinematic villains ever, depicted with, a pregnant belly. Who wanted that as a comic? I don't think anyone did. When you see it, you are just immediately filled with disgust and just like, what? Like everyone else, because it is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Now, again, DC is known for their weird stuff like Pink Kryptonite, Multiverse Travel, and Reverse Flash, but this really just takes the cake, honestly. So today, I kind of want to cover this comic in detail because, honestly, the comic is just even weirder than the title. So before I kind of go into that and everything, if you could like the video, subscribe if you're brand new around here, and also share this with your friends. It really helps out a lot. And let's get on with this cringe because there is unfortunately a lot of it. So before I kind of read you the comic and everything, I'm going to kind of show you the screenshot that essentially got, the whole internet going. All right, here it is. I'll put it up on screen. Yes, this is the Joker pregnant, something that you probably thought you'd never see in your lifetime, but here it is, Joker pregnant. And I absolutely love the tweet. Like, I'll kind of read it as well, like, the caption from this, writer who kind of commented on the picture. Today, DC released a comic in which the Joker becomes pregnant and given birth to a mud monster who transforms into a child version of himself who he adopts as a son. Seriously, if you want to show an image to a person who's never seen any superhero movies or read superhero comics, show them this and just show how far it has gone. I'm going to essentially read you the comic and then I'll kind of give my opinion after that so you can kind of understand. So, alright, I'll read it kind of verbatim. It's only 10 pages, so it's nothing too amazing. I'll kind of give you the good parts and just get rid of the stuff that get me demonetized. Alright, so first of all, Joker kind of wakes up in a dream sequence. Nothing new for comics, honestly. He wakes up in a dream sequence, and what ends up happening is that, so in this dream sequence, he pretty much is infatuated with a superhero, and that superhero is Zatanna, which is really weird. And the whole time in the comic, it basically states that, Joker is a womanizer. He really loves women. Now, this is already the first red flag. Joker does not love women. I mean, if you've seen his treatment of Harley Quinn, he is basically the catalyst of the bad boy boyfriend who does not care about his girl whatsoever. So I don't know how they're getting this idea. All right, let me keep going. So essentially, after the dream sequence concludes, Joker wakes up in the morning in his house or whatever, and essentially discovers that he is pregnant, which is just super strange. And then the woman, he pretty much says, "Am I pregnant?" He's like, "Looks like it." So they drive to the hospital, essentially get into the, straps for, pregnancy and all that for the Joker, which is, again, really weird, and I'm not showing the image. So that kind of goes while Joker's kind of in there, a loud crash happens, and then they go out on a police chase. Joker, before he goes on the police chase, vomits up a mud monster, not actually giving birth, no, vomits up a mud monster. And then they go into a police chase, yada yada yada, with Gotham City Police. And then they essentially get back to the hospital, and Joker discovers that the mud monster that he threw up, again, sorry if you're eating something while watching this video, essentially becomes a childlike version of him. And what he does is he takes the child as his own, essentially, which is really weird. And this is the weirdest part of all. He goes up to Zatanna, realizing it's not a dream sequence anymore, and tells her, "You should be jealous. This could have been the family you should have been with." Again, super weird. It's so weird. He goes up to Zatanna and says, "You you missed out on having this great family. What? Makes no sense. And that's the end of the short story. Now, this backup story was essentially, like, put with, like, a part of, like, a Red Hood story for whatever reason. It's really weird. It's for, like, $6.99. It's in, like, one of the comic books, Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. It's, like, a, backup story, which basically just has, like, no substance. It's kind of, like, just there to pad out the runtime. Kind of like infomercials are for, like, movie theaters. It's kind of like that. So that's basically what it was. And yeah, that's the whole comic. That's essentially the synopsis. Now, I'm not going to buy this comic book for $6.99. Just from the synopsis alone, I don't think anyone's going to buy it. It just looks absolutely dreadful. Like, it looks like a comic book that you would pretty much give your friend on a white elephant Christmas. That's basically what I see. But yeah, just overall, after reading this as a long-time, like, DC fan, just absolutely dreadful. And I also love, like, the guy, like, from where I'm reading this from, BatmanArticleNews.com. He basically just goes in and just says exactly what I'm going to say. And here are my thoughts on just comics and all that in general. So, essentially, what this comic just shows to everybody is that both DC, Marvel, and everybody does not know what to do with their established characters whatsoever. Like, the Joker has been around since 1939. It has been pretty much shown that, first off, the Joker is not a nice person whatsoever. He has never been a nice person. He has not. It has also been shown, again, that he has no remorse. He does not like Harley Quinn, anyone around him. But, they want to show that in the story that he's capable of love for whatever reason. Does not make any sense whatsoever. And that's what I mean. They're taking established characters, both DC and Marvel, and just doing this to them, and basically just, like, making, like, a new, like, kind of diet version, like diet, like Pepsi or whatever, or like, Diet Dr. Pepper, just something like that, where it's like, it's still the same thing, but they just, like, put their own spin on it and say, oh, wow, this is how it's always been, but it's actually new and better, It's kind of like rebranding in just, like, a really bad way. Now, I know, like, a bunch of people were upset about, like, the woke politics and all that in it, but I really don't care. I just saw it, and I was just cringing as a DC fan, because it's just, like, again, the Joker is, like, one of the best-known villains. So seeing this as a longtime DC fan is just disheartening, because basically what this does is, when people see this, they think, oh, wow, American comics are a joke. No wonder why manga's doing so well. Again, I'll put it up on screen how well manga does. Seriously, look at the sales of manga. Like, this is why manga just is sold out everywhere. Like, I got my brother, like, a manga for, like, One Piece. It was sold out. Like, I had to literally, like, back order it for 2 weeks to get it for Christmas. That's how good manga is going. Like, My Hero Academia is, like, one of the most sold, mangas out there, because guess what? It's popular. And that's why manga's gonna keep, like, just dominating the sales. If there was manga movies, I guarantee you would do the same thing with superhero movies, because seriously, like, they just don't know what to do with their established characters. They take them in this, like, radically new way that, like, no one really asked for, and just run with it. When, like, you have, like, no idea what to do for, like, a project that you forgot about for school, and it's, like, due, like, in, like, one day, and you just try to do, like, anything to come up with, like, any idea? That's kind of where, like, comics are right now. Just in this absolute limbo state where it's just like, just throw anything at the wall. Why not? Just do it. And that's kind of what I see. It's just really, really weird. Like, I really hope that manga keeps doing well, because hopefully, DC and all this will actually, mostly DC and Marvel, will actually do something about it. But only time will tell. Not a great way to start off 2023, though, seriously. Like, the movies that DC makes are already flops enough, but the comics, wow. I think they have surpassed the movies, and that's something I never thought I'd ever say in my life. But yeah, just overall, I really hope that they just actually fix this, because like Twitter had this trending in like a couple hours after like this came out, and rightfully so. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Seeing the Joker like this, nobody wants to see this whatsoever. There's really not much to say here. Seriously, Joker is pregnant? I mean, what kind of comic topic even is that? Like, who was asking for this? Like, I don't think anyone, after seeing, like, the Dark Knight or playing the Arkham games was like, I really want to see the Joker, have pregnancy and just, deal with that. I don't think anyone was doing that. I think they were like, I want, more stories of the Joker, not, I want to see him pregnant. I don't think anyone was like that. If they were, I would like to see their responses to this comic. But yeah, kind of wanted to cover this topic because seriously, it was trending on Twitter, and rightfully so, because, I mean, if you see the cover, I mean, you're just having questions. You're wondering, like, how did this even happen? And yeah, as a DC fan, you're really just going 0 for 1 in 2023 already. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed this comic topic, because I haven't really done one of these. If you want more of these, let me know. I had a lot of fun covering this topic because I am such a huge DC fan. But yeah, please be sure to like the video, share this with all your friends, and also be sure to subscribe if you're brand new around here. It helps a lot. And with that out of the way, I am going to go burn all my DC comics, because if they keep making stuff like that, I'm going to have to. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow.